Okay, ladies and gents, physics students, we had, without a doubt, the students that had submitted reflections on last week's real deal free response questions, they all asked about one specific question about D. Do this derivation. Remember that word derive is a key word in free response questions. It basically means tell the story of how you're going to arrive at an equation. This one is difficult, and admittedly, when I looked at the scoring guidelines, it's a lot of work for just 3 points. But they want us to express our answer in terms of M1 and M2. So that means the only variables in the answer should be M1 and M2. So we shouldn't have V's in there and things like that. Although I think the scoring guidelines say if one of your answers has some V in there, it'd give a partial credit, right? A lot of times they'll say express your answer, and they'll state the variables, and they'll also say fundamental constants. So that would say you could include little g, right? Like 9.8 meters per second squared. You could include some well-known constant in the problem. But in this case, we only want M1s and M2s to appear. So let's just think a little bit about what the problem is. They're asking us to derive an expression for this, the kinetic energy lost divided by the kinetic energy initial. So let's just take a look at what that would mean in the first case. And remember, the scenario that they tell us is that the carts are going to collide. One's not moving, M2's not moving, M1's going to collide, and they're going to stick together in this case. That is the definition of perfectly inelastic. So we know kinetic energy would be lost. So let's start off with what's the ratio? What would this ratio look like? This I bet most people could get, right? I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. By the way, I'm going to do it relatively quickly. I've already solved it, so don't think I'm going through this for the first time and showing you that work. So what we're going to do is K lost over K initial, right? And what is K lost? Well, K lost would be your initial kinetic energy minus your final kinetic energy. And K initial would be just your initial kinetic energy, right? So right away, before we get going too much into this, we can simplify this a little bit, right? And this is a little bit of algebra involved, but this would actually simplify to 1 over kf over ki. I said 1 over, no, it's 1 minus kf over ki, right? Because this would be 1, and then I can't, simplify that, so I'm going to have to keep the minus kf over ki. This is going to be an important part, right? So that's what we're after, but we're after it in terms of masses and velocities. So the next step is to realize, all right, how are we going to put those in there? Things we want to realize. Momentum will always be conserved. In this case, kinetic energy won't. So using the conservation of momentum, and I think that's what one of the points was of it, was 4 was demonstrating that you're using conservation of momentum. That will always be true. And because this is perfectly inelastic, where one is sitting still, they combine and they hit, that master equation would look like this. M1 VI. I'm not going to have an initial term for the M2 because it's sitting still, has no momentum. They're going to stick together and be M1 plus, got to put that plus in there, squeezed it in there, M2 times VF. Now, for reasons that'll be apparent here in a moment, I'm going to go ahead and just solve this for VF because I'm going to plug that in the future. And VF, you might not know if you're solving the problem like this, you might not know you need to do this right away, but you could probably come back to it. VF would then equal M1 VI over M1 plus M2. Okay, that's using conservation of momentum, right? So then let's take a look and figure out what are we going to do, how are we going to put that into the next step here, thinking about this. Right? So if I expand this out, 1 minus, instead of kf, I'll write this. It's going to be 1/2 m1 plus m2 VF squared, right? That's the final kinetic energy of the thing stuck together, moving at some velocity, and that's 1/2 mv squared. The initial kinetic energy would just look like this, 1/2 m1 v initial squared. So right away, I'm going to go ahead and do something. So we just clean the thing up. I'm going to, the halves cancel out, right? So this would be simplified to this, m1 plus m2 over m1 v initial squared. Now, how am I going to treat this? This is what I'm going to use this expression for VF. So what am I going to do? I'm going to plug in, right, this is VF, and I'm going to square it. So VF squared, this is where a little algebra comes in handy. I'm going to use, I think, what's called the product rule for exponents. I need to square this. So go ahead and do that over here. The numerator squared, I could do m1 vi squared, but I can also realize I have this product rule that might make it a little bit easier. I'm going to express that as m1 squared vi squared, right? That's kinetic energy squared. Remember, I'm trying to do this. And then this would be m1 plus m2 squared. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this expression in for this. So I'm going to go ahead and just give myself some room over here. What's that going to look like? It's going to look like this. m1 squared, v1 squared, and sort of keep those separate. And this would be m1 plus m2 squared. So we'll see some things here cancel, right? m1 plus m2 squared, m1 plus m2. So this is like that twice. So this will cancel that. Vi squared, those cancel each other. And then what do I have here? I have an m squared over an m. So this will happen. Clean up, and one of the final acceptable expressions looks like this. m1 plus m2. So that would be a valid way to solve that problem, where we only have our answers in terms of what they said, express it in terms of m1 and m2. There is partial credit, right, for, I think, if you demonstrate that you're using the idea of conservation of momentum in there, and that's really common in these problems, well, you'll have to use momentum and energy. And if you develop a ratio that might have V in there, VI or VF in there, that'll get you partial credit. But all of that together was only 3 out of those total 12 points. So remember, we talked about it before, the AP test does not reward mastery. Anyways, hope that helps. If you have more questions about that, let me know. And if you have more questions on derivations or things like that, I'm always willing to make a video for this. Okay?